Well, when you look at the state of Iowa, for instance, Canada and Mexico are our #1 and #2 trading partners. So the ability to maintain that zero tariff treatment across those borders and, in fact, expand our opportunities in dairy and poultry and eggs is a good news. It's the kind of good news that Iowa farmers have been needing, given the downward trend in farm incomes and the downward pressure on our commodity and livestock prices over the last several months. So it's exactly the kind of momentum that we need to see.
So momentum you needed to see. If this had failed to come about, what do you think your constituents would have been feeling towards President Trump's administration, and has that changed ahead of the midterms with this deal?
Well, there's certainly, there's a lot of uncertainty in the ag economy right now, and our farmers and our businesses are definitely feeling that. And right now, when you kind of look at all that's happening with NAFTA 2.0 being in question, with the issues with China, with issues around the renewable fuels standard and around the farm bill, that just creates this uncertainty that builds into the marketplace. So as we can start to see that momentum, as we can see progress in these things, like NAFTA 2.0 or USMCA. Again, we would like to see that build into agreements with the EU and Japan, and ultimately get the Chinese to the table and remove these retaliatory tariffs that have had such a negative impact on our markets.
Just wondering if you've gone through the specifics, Mike, because Senator Heitkamp, for instance, of North Dakota, has released a statement saying it's good for the wheat growers of her state, but disappointing for cattle ranchers and potato farmers because they weren't addressed. Just wondering about the level of specificity you've gone into and whether it creates this losers and winners type situation, which she seems to reference.
Well, we're still looking at the details, but again, as I understand things as they stand today, related to Iowa producers, Iowa agriculture, I think we view this very positively, and again, we would commend the administration for this and urge the Congress to do their part now and move us forward. So again, details forthcoming, but if we can maintain what we had before with zero tariffs across these borders and see an upside in dairy, eggs, poultry, and even some biotech regulation and some other things, those are all positive things for our farmers and businesses.
Which nations that you trade with are most important to you in Iowa? Is China more important than Mexico and Canada?
Again, you stack up, Canada and Mexico #1 and #2, and then you get into China and Japan, the EU, South Korea. Those would be our top trading partners today. And we think there's opportunity, obviously, to enhance those existing agreements, but also play offense and look for some additional markets around the world as well.